Good morning, November 19th, Wednesday, 2025. Okay, Perek Gimel, starting right now. Abel, you have a seat, come inside. Perek Gimel, Malachim Beis, and here we go. Okay. Yehoram ben Achav. Yehoram, he was the son of Achav. Malach Isal b'Shamron. He ruled over Klal Yisrael in the Shamron, right? He's a Melech Yisrael. It was Shnas Shman Esrei L'Shafat. It was in the 18th year Yeshafat Melech Yehuda. He ruled the Yimach, and he ruled for Shtayim Esrei. He ruled for 12 years. Just to remind you, so a quick chazar here. So we had Imri, and Imri had a child named Achav, and Achav had a son Achazio. So Achazio, we said he ruled for 2 years, and he was killed. We had yesterday before he was killed through Skila because he fell through the roof, and now. He had a brother, and his brother's name was Yehoram. Okay. Why did he not go to Chazio's son? Because he didn't have a son. We'll see in a second. So he went to Yehoram, and he ruled, and he was a Melech for 12 years, and it was during the 18th year of Yehoshafat Melech Yehuda. And like we know, Yehoshafat was a good Melech, and Yehoram was from the side of Yehuda, which side from Yisrael, which was not good. Okay. So now let's see. Pasuk base. Now, Yehoram. He did Rabbi Hashem, but Rak like Avim. He wasn't like his father and his mother. His father was Achav, his mother was Izavel. He wasn't as bad as them. We'll see in a second why. Because he removed the Baal Sha'asa Aviv. His father brought the Baal. His mother, we said earlier, brought the Asherah from Sidon. We had that earlier. But Rak Yisrael Davak. But Lo Yisrael Meno. He went back to like Yehoram ben Nevat. Now, Yehoram ben Nevat was really bad, but Yehoram ben Nevat wasn't as bad as them. What was the chiluk? Because we said Yehoram ben Nevat, he brought the lions, the golden lions, into the area of Beit El and the area of Dan, and he did it, and he told Klal Yisrael, listen, don't go to Yerushalayim. Why? Because he was scared if they went to Yerushalayim to go to the Regel, they would realize that Melech Yisrael is not allowed to send Nazara, and only Melech Yehuda is, and they'll realize that he can't do that, so it must be he's not such a real Melech. So therefore, he tried to stop Klal Yisrael from the other Regel. What did he do? In the area of Beit El, in the area of Dan, he brought golden egels, and he said, instead of going to Beis Mikdash, you could go here. But really, you're worshiping Hashem. He told them, this is another way. This is a conduit to get the same way the Beis Mikdash is a conduit for tefillah. He wanted to say, you could go. This egel is like almost like instead of going to Beis Mikdash, you go to the shtibel. It's like it's another way to talk to Hashem. That was Yehoram ben Nevat, and that was Ra. But Achav said no. Bring up a real avodah zarah. He married a goy. He married Zevel. That was really bad. So it's the pasuk is saying that Yehoram he got rid of the Baals, but he wasn't good because he still had like a Yehoram ben Nevat and he still had those egos. Okay, that's pasuk Gimel. Pasuk Dal. Now, just remind you. So there was a nevuah from Navi. Navi told Achav that since he did some sort of tshuva, he said that in your lifetime, you're not going to be punished. Just the dogs will lick up your blood, but that's not such a punishment. But the real punishment that you're going to be wiped out, that's not going to happen during your lifetime. It's going to happen later. So that's where it happens. This pasuk now. The nevuah of Eliyahu comes true right now. Pasuk Dal. How does it start? Umesha Melech Moav Unakid. The Mesha, he was the king of Moav. Unakid, he had many flocks of sheep. Uvehesha the Melech Yisrael, and he used to send it as taxes to Klal Yisrael. And how much? It was Me'ah Elef Karim. He had 100,000 fat sheep, Me'ah Elef Elam Sarman, 100,000 rams of wool, and he used to give it to Klal Yisrael as taxes. And one day he says, no more. I'm not giving you taxes anymore. So it was Hashem basically starting off the punishment, starting up, and this is the beginning of the nevuah coming true of Eliyahu Navi. Okay, now what happens? Okay, so pasuk hey, Vahi K'mais Achav. So now, once Achav dies, there Vayisha Melech Moav, the king of Moav, he rebelled against Melech Yisrael. This is where he rebelled, like I said a second ago, and he says, "That's it, tax is over." Vayetze Melech Yehoram b'Yemahu. So what did he do? The Melech Yehoram, who's the Melech in Yisrael, he went out Meishamroin, Vayifkad Kol Yisrael, and he took a census to count Klal Yisrael. The Targum was a real census. And he did sense like Klal Yisrael, and he was trying to make an army. In other words, to figure out, I have to go to war now with Moav. And what he did a census to figure out, just to understand how big his army was and to get ready for war. Now, what did he do? He went ahead and he sent Yehoshafat, Melech Yehuda, he said, Melech Moav Pasha, he told Melech Yisrael, went to Melech Yehuda, and he was trying to get Melech Yehuda to join him. He wanted to get Yehoshafat to be part of his war with Moav. The question is, why is he going to join? We'll see maybe in a minute. Anyways, he goes to Melech Yehuda, Melech Pasha, that Melech Moav, he's rebelling against him. Can you go with me to war? Now he says, so he says, "Oh, I'll go with you. In other words, whatever you do, I'll do. No problem. I'm going to join you. I'm with you." Now, why would he go? So one shot I saw was, firstly, if there was Yehoram was the uncle to Yehoshafat. So, but that's not the reason he should join him. But why would he join him? So, Apostle shot was, he told him, "Look, he's starting up with me now, but you're next. So, like, you might as well help me with my problems before it comes to your problems." That was a good shot I saw. There's other shots on why he'll get involved, because really bad him. Why does he need wars for? Like, he's good. I just want to point out that he's had a very similar type of conversation where Melech Yisrael went to Melech Yehuda in the previous parak when they went to the war with Gilad. Right, we said the same thing. They asked him if you come. He says, "Yeah, I'll do." But there he said, "I got to ask the Navi," and that's when the Navi came in and said, "Don't go." Right. Anyway, over here, let's see what happens. So over here, he says, "Yeah, I'll join you." Okay. It would be really like so let me just show you the map a little bit. Okay, so here's the map. So we have Yehuda over here and Yisrael over here. Okay, well, let me just get this straight. So Yisrael is going to join Yehuda, and they're going to go against Moav. Now I'm going to skip a little bit just to explain what happened so you should understand the story. So Yehuda and Yisrael, they join together, and they go to war through the Midbar, and they come down this way and they go up to Moav that way instead of going across maybe the easier route. So Farshim say it was like a surprise attack. And also another reason they did it because they knew Edom is going to join the war. We'll see in a minute how Edom joined the war and why they joined the war. But the idea was, Yisrael and Yehuda, they got together here. And we'll see they went in the Midbar and they got lost over here. We'll get to the story in a minute. And then they go down, get Edom to join, and then they attack Moav over here. So again, Yisrael, Yehuda, together, they bring Edom to join the war, and then they go attack Moav over here. That's the basic understanding of the map.
What was the threat of Moav? Who was he threatening? Reuben?
Moav was threatening Yisrael. Yisrael, the simple understanding means he stopped paying taxes, and they knew it's it. He's going to start rebellion. If you want to start a war, the first thing you do is you close down the all shipping. You start acting aggressive. So that's how wars kind of start. So they knew the war was going to. They didn't know exactly what's going to happen. So right away they went to the attack. Okay, that's the map. Okay, right. Side. Okay. So he says, "Yeah, I'm joining the war." He says, "Kamani, yeah, we're in it together." Okay. Pasuk, ches. Okay, Yomi. So Yehoram said, "Is a derech now. Which way should we go?" Yomi derech midbar Edom. We should go through the midbar Edom. Like I just showed you a minute ago. Go down to the midbar instead of going straight over to across the Yarden. So let's go down to the midbar. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. Melech Yehuda, Melech Yisrael, Melech Yehuda, Melech Edom. So now all three kings went together. Like we said, Melech Edom joins in, and they circled 7 days in the midbar. And there was no water. So the behema, there was no water for the animals that were with them. And okay, so what happened? They got lost. They got lost in the midbar, and they ran out of water. So they realized that it's checkmate. They're going to die. So they said, "V'yamach Yisrael." He says, "Aha, Kir-Charas Hashem Malachim. Hashem called us together, so we should lose the hand of Moav. In other words, Hashem is doing this, so we should die. We're done. We will die of dehydration. We're in the midbar. It's hot. It's in the Negev, and yeah, it gets pretty hot in the Negev." Okay. What happened with Yomi Yehoshafat? So now the Yehoshafat, which was with Melech Yehuda, he says, "I ain't poi Navi Hashem. Is there any Navi with us?" He's going with the whole army. He said, "Maybe there's a Navi with us." That Nidusha asked Hashem Meita that we could ask questions to. But and they answered. They said, Melech Yisrael. He said, one of the servants of Yisrael is here. And he said, "Who? Elisha ben Shaphat That's a Yatzak Mayim al Dei Eliyahu. He said, yeah, actually, who's here together with us in the army is Elisha. Let's ask Elisha. He's the Navi. He'll tell us what's going on. Now, what does it mean? Actually, Yatzak Mayim al Dei Eliyahu. He poured the water through the hands of Eliyahu. So remember the story of Eliyahu and Har Carmel. So we had two mizbechas, and we had that. So the mizbech Baal, no fire came, and then when it came to the second mizbech, Eliyahu Navi said, "Take water, and he should pour water on the wood and everywhere, and even around the ditch around the mizbech." And it says over there that the water came through the hands of the lashon. It says, "I say Yatzak Mayim al Dei Eliyahu." Like Rashi Bahar Kamel, and Rashi says, when he was pouring in Nasa, it's spices of Kamanas Mayim, his fingers became like wells of springs of water until the ditches got filled up. So Elisha, it seems like Elisha poured waters through the fingers of Eliyahu. So he's saying he's like the water person. Like so we have here Elisha's here, and he's the person actually Yatzak Mayim Eliyahu. He's the one to pour the water through Eliyahu. In other words, he knows about water. Maybe he could do some nest with water. Okay, right. But he's saying it's just like in the times of Eliyahu, Elisha, who was the servant of Eliyahu. He did that. So Elisha is the person. He's the right person to ask. And if he's here, definitely we should consult with him. He's a Navi. He's a Navi of Hashem. A Yomi Yehoshafat. Just interesting. I'm just thinking out loud that last time they asked the Navi that they should go to war. Here they didn't ask the Navi, and they only went to war, and then they found the Navi. Just I don't know. Anyways, Pasuk Yibes. A Yomi Yehoshafat. So the Yehoshafat says, "Yesh Oisei Davar Hashem." He said, by the way, the words of Hashem is with him. So what did they do? They went down. Melch Yisrael, Yehoshafat, Melch. They all went to him. So Yehoshafat and Melch Yisrael, and Yehoshafat, they went to him. Elisha Melch Yisrael. So now Elisha says, what do we have in common here? Go to the Vatazorian. Why are you asking me? He's telling the Navi Yisrael, the Melch Yisrael, who worships the Baal. Well, not really the Baal. He worships he said, got rid of the Baal. He worships the Avodah of the Egel. They say, go ask somebody. Ask Navi Avicha. Maybe as Navi Imecha, your mother. I think it means the Baal. It means or a share of your mother. Izavel Achav. That's what it means. The Yamar Loya Melchizedek says, Al Kir-Charas Hashem Shoishes Malachim Ela Lasais Oisa B'Yad Moav. Hashem didn't call all three of us here. They should handle over the Moav. In other words, it means Rashi. I think Rashi explains it that in times of trouble, don't make a kitchen on us. Right now, we're in trouble. Don't remind Hashem of Avodah Zarah now. We're desperate. We need help. Help us. We're Makom Sakana. Is that what Rashi said? Before I should read that down. Okay. Melch Edom. So what happened again? Melch Yehuda, Melch Yisrael, and they joined Melch Edom to go up to Moav. Right? Yehuda, Yisrael, Yehuda, and Edom's on the bottom, and they're going up to attack Moav through the midbar. They lost over here. Because Edom also seems like it was lost. So it must have been somewhere out of here. Right? I mean, it seems like it has sound more partial to say that it was Yehuda was lost with Yisrael. But it doesn't say that. It says that the three kings were lost. So obviously it was a little further down. It was a little south. Listen, maybe they got lost in Edom. I don't know. Okay. Let's get down. But Elisha, so Elisha says, so again, they ask Elisha what to do. Three Malachim, three kings came to Elisha, right? And like, what should we do? We're lost. He makes a shvuah. He says, Kiluli Pnei Yehoshafat, Melch Yehuda, Ani Noise. If Yehoshafat wouldn't be here, for who Ani Noise, for someone, he's someone I respect. Im Abed Elecha V'im Ereka. I wouldn't look at you. I wouldn't look at you. You're Russia. I wouldn't look at you. I'm only even going to answer you now because Yehoshafat was a tzaddik. He was here. Okay? I think also talking with Russia. If I wouldn't even look you in the face, I'm only going to respond to you and tell you what the Hashem wants for one reason. The reason is because Yehoshafat is here. Okay? And he's in the sakana. I'm here to help. Bring me a musical instrument. And when you begin to play it, he'll love Yad Hashem. Then I'll have nevuah and I'll know what the Dvar Hashem is. What's this? Then Mefarshim down through Chazal. David HaMelech used to have every night at midnight, every night the harp used to play. So they brought this harp. He had with him this harp of David HaMelech, and this harp they brought it to Elisha to play. Now, why to play? Elisha was Bekas. Why is he Bekas? So first of all, Rashi says the reason why he needed it because when you're cast, someone's in cast, they can't have ruach hakodesh, you can't have nevuah. You have to be in a relaxed state. We even had that by Shmuel Navi. We had earlier, for those who hear Shmuel, we had that when Shaul was becoming the Melech, right? So Shmuel told them they should go to the place. We're going to see people sitting in a circle on the mitzvah, I think it says, and you see they're going to be playing music, and they're going to have nevuah, and that's where Shmuel got his first. That's where Shaul rather got his first nevuah was with music, because music and nevuah work together. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now, so again, so Rashi says since he was the cast, it was nostalgic. The Shechina was nostalgic for him, and the nevuah he lost. So either he's the cast because Yehoram and dead by the Zara, right? Okay. Oh, and the Gemara says in Psachim, I was looking at the Gemara says in Psachim that the reason why he lost the nevuah it was mourning for Eliyahu. So since he was in the state of mourning for Eliyahu Navi, he wasn't in a good state and he didn't have nevuah. So either that, or because of the Yehoram, because he was upset at him. Whatever it was, he didn't have nevuah. He said, "Bring me a musical instrument and I'll get nevuah." Okay. Pasuk Tazayin by Yomi. So now he had nevuah and he says, "Kayam Hashem Asa Nachal Hazeh gave him." He says Hashem is going to what? Make the valley over here. It's going to be turned into pools. So there was some sort of water stream in the desert, and he says, "You'll see tomorrow morning. There's going to be pools of water here." Hashem says, "Like Sir Ruach, there's not going to be any wind. Like Sir Geshem, and there won't be any rain. Hanachal Mali Mayim. The Nachal will be filled with water. The Shisam Atim Meknechem, it will be enough water for the animals to drink. And what the chilik? So Meknechem is the flocks to eat. V'techem is the riding animals. There'll be plenty of food for everybody to eat, and there'll be a lot of water, and you'll see. Okay. Pasuk Yeches, v'nakol zois b'nei Hashem, v'nasan as Moav, and he says, and it'll be very easy for Hashem in the hands of Hashem to put Moav in your hands. So he says, not only be water, you'll rehydrate, and then you'll see Moav is gonna win the war. It'll be an ace. Okay. V'kisem kol ir mivsar, and you're gonna go ahead and hit the ir visa all fortified cities, ir macha and all choice cities. And all valuable, every tree in the area of Moav you can knock down, and all the wells in Edom to Stoma you're going to close up, you're going to stuff up the wells, and all good fields that are Moav, takivu bavanim, you're going to throw stones at it, you're going to destroy the fields. It had nice clean fields, you're going to throw stones and make it all, destroy them. So you're going to basically decimate Moav. Okay? That's the nevuah of Elisha to the three Malachim, to Melech Yisrael, Melech Yehuda, and to Melech Edom. So now the morning comes. Kalais Hamincha. The Mepharshim say it means that the time that it covered Tamid in the Beis Hamikdash, in that time, suddenly water comes by the way of Edom. So we see obviously you want to where it was obviously somewhere in the area of Edom. Right? It's down here somewhere. It was water, and the land was full of water. Okay, so they had plenty of water, all to drink, to rehydrate, and to yeah. So now the people of Moav, they heard the suddenly people of Moav got wind of the fact that there's attack coming. So what do? They quickly gathered everyone together, and they got the swords, Omala and anyone strong. And they all stood together at the border, get ready to attack. They're getting ready for an attack of Kal Yisrael with Yehuda and Yisrael and Edom against Moav. They got ready. But what happened? Now, suddenly the morning comes. Hashem made a miracle that the sun, when it was shining on the water, Hashem made the sun shine on the water in a way that Moav thought it was blood. It was red. It was all looked like blood. So what happened? It says, look, it must be that the Malachim got in a fight. Yehuda, Yisrael, they got in a big fight, and then they killed each other. And there's blood everywhere. There must be that's it. We could just go now and take all the booty. So okay, let's go back. It must be everyone killed each other. But now let's go get all the spoils. and the booty of, well, let's go, let's take all the guns, the leftover, everything's, that's it. Get some nice shiny boots, maybe. All right. Pasuk of Dalet. Yisrael, so they come to Yisrael, so they came without their armory. They just came, walking over there, and they're looking around and suddenly attack. Kaisel comes with taking the sword to kill it, and they knocked down Moav. Yikumu, Yisrael, Yaakov, Moav, and the super of them, and they all ran away from Kaisel, and then Yaakov, Vahaka says Moav, and they went and made an attack, and they destroyed the cities, like we said, the Shichu, Ish, Avnei Malu, everyone men that they threw stones, they filled up the Chomayim Stumum. Again, the fields, they threw stones. And the Mayonim, they stuffed up. Every tree that was good, they chopped down. Until what remained was only Avnei Kir-Charas, which means were just the stones on the walls of Chareshes. Mitzudi says it means that Kir-Charas was the name of a place. But it really just means until there was just stones left. Until there were just stones by the walls of Chareshes. Meaning there was just, again, either it's the name of a wall or it means it was just everything was gone. And then by Soivak Akaloim and the people that do the slingshots, they surrounded that area that the people were, and they just finished everyone. So basically,
Mortar.
Okay.
Stones and cement.
It was just right. It was just nothing. Basically, nothing left, and whatever was left, they went ahead and the sharpshooters came and just went ahead and knocked those people out. So basically, Moav was destroyed, and Yisrael, Yehuda, and Edom were victorious. That's where we're up to. Now, the Yar Moav. So now Moav, he sees he sees that he's done. He lost. What did he do? He takes 700 men. That he has the final people he had left. They drew their swords. He wanted to try to break through the king of Edom, try to at least maybe win a little bit in Edom, but he wasn't able to. Right, a little something. Maybe he's decimated something. Right. The last two pasuk, the last part is a little short to understand. We have two pasuk in Rashi and the Radak. Very interesting pasuk. So again, Moav lost. What does he do? So I'm going to go with Rashi first because that's the simple shot. So the simple shot according to Rashi is the Melech Moav, when he lost the war, he took Bnei Bechar, his oldest son, Asher Yimlach Tachta, which would be in his place, is Bechar, and he offers him as a carbon by the wall. So Rashi explains what does that mean. It's like Rashi, he asked, he says, I don't understand, how is Kaisel so strong? So they told him, you know why? Because Aviyam Avram, Ben Yochid, he had, because Kaisel had the forefathers Avram, and he had a son, and he was marking him for Balakeda. So he says, and that's the secret behind Kaisel being victorious. So he says, Afani, also I have Bechar, usually. I also have a son, Bechar. You know what to do? I'm going to be sacrificed myself Avad Zar. So Rashi is learning that Melech Moav takes his own son, and he says, okay, I'll do the same thing. And he does him a Yalu, and he brings his son to the wall, and he burns him. And this caused a tremendous anger against Klal Yisrael. In other words, Hashem, remind Hashem that Klal Yisrael is doing Avodah Zarah. Klal Yisrael is loyal to Avodah Zarah. You see how loyal, Klal Yisrael is not loyal to Hashem, but he's loyal to his Avodah Zarah. And because of that, somehow Klal Yisrael now they had to withdraw. They couldn't take off. Somehow they must have kind of lost the war. It sounds like something happened, and yeah. The Rashi, which in this guy is saying, Hashem remembered that the various af him Avodah Zarah ain't really nice. Because it's not worth a miracle, and therefore Klal Yisrael somehow lost the war. I don't know exactly what happened, but okay, that's how Rashi says. Radak has the Radak says, I'll read the puzzle according to Radak. So Melech, what happened was Melech Edom over here, Melech Edom. So his son was in jail in Moav. Okay, so Melech Edom joined the war. Why did Melech Edom join the war? Because he figured I'll join the war. Melech Edom joined the war. Okay, according to Radak, right? So Melech Edom, he joined the war with Yehuda and Yisrael. Why did he join the war? Because Edom had a son, and his son was in prison in Moav. He says, if I join the war, I'll get my son out of jail. So that's why he joined. And that's why they went to. That's why they joined the war, and that's how they knew the whole time he'll join the war, because he wanted to get his son out of jail. But then what happened was when Moav was losing the war, he said, I'll do something. He takes Edom's son, and he goes ahead and he sacrifices Edom's son to Avodah Zarah. and he kills his son. And what that happens is, Edom got upset. He says, Klal, you didn't save my son. And then Edom fights with Klal. So until today, we have problems with Edom because Edom was upset that we didn't save his son to Makavav. That's the way the Radak understands the last pasuk. All right? That's the story. And tomorrow, Malachim II Perek Dalet. Okay, Atzlach Rabba. All the best.